Welcome everybody to TacosandGeeks.com reviews. Justin here with my boy Tuck. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man? Sean, the true comic fan here. You know
And
what it is.
we are going to be talking about Moon Knight. Um,
Yes.
just just wow, man. Whew.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about we were fortunate enough to get a screener. We did see all four episodes. It's a 6 episode series, but we did see four of them. But we are not going to talk about all the episodes yet. We're going to review each episode bit by bit. So what you're watching right now is episode 1 review. And as always, I give you a brief synopsis. So here we go. Stephen Grant, a mild-mannered gift shop employee, becomes plagued with blackouts and memories of another life. He discovers he has personality identity disorder, and shares a body with mercenary Marc Spector. As Stephen/Marc enemies converge upon them, they must navigate their complex identities while thrust into deadly mystery among the powerful gods of Egypt. So I'm going to throw the ball to you first, Sean. What was your impressions on the first episode?
Well, the first episode for me starts off like any Marvel show. It starts off slow. I don't think there's been too many Marvel shows that start off with action. I think only Falcon and Winter Soldier started off with like straight action. They start off with a story, and it wasn't bad. I think they delved right into the character. When you first meet Steven, he's doing something weird. He has like his leg is chained to his bed. He has sand on the floor and he tapes up his door. So you're just like, okay, well, and he's kind of like this skittish nerd that should, as you see him walk out, and when he gets to work, you can see nobody respects him. Nobody has any nobody really cares that he's there. They all kind of treat him like a little bit like like a nerd. They just like slap him around and like say, hey, do whatever you want. I mean, they don't literally slap him around. He's a grown man, but like they just like, oh, whatever. And they don't give him the respect he deserves. And you start to see a little twist in it, because this gorgeous woman walks up to him. It's like, oh, we have a date on such and such. And he's like, what? You're just sitting there like, yo, I guess my man got game. Like he can, this may just be how he is, but he knows how to like really pull the ladies. And even he's surprised he doesn't understand what he did. And the show just goes right from there. I mean, for those who have read Moon Knight, you already know that like he's a bit of a schizophrenic. He has multiple personalities. Moon Knight is one of those complex characters that started like way back in the day. I mean, I think his first appearance was in the comic Werewolf by Night. Is it? Am I saying it right? Werewolf
Yep.
by Night.
Yep,
And
correct.
he was actually hired to hunt werewolf by night, and he ended up breaking out to become his own hero. So and, Moon Knight wasn't that popular, but then like later, it's just like any comic book, you get the right writer and you get a great artist, and he took off from there. So kudos to Marvel bringing this character out, because like a lot of people, I'm gonna give Disney props on bringing their more obscure, like what you might say is like a B-rated character, somebody who's not in the mainstream, and making a really good story around it. So I think coming into the first, I want to say the first 20 minutes of the show was really good. Like I got into it while I was watching it. I was like, I wasn't bored sitting there and sitting there like, oh, okay, get to the point. The setup was really good. So I had to, like I said, I'm going to do it by the first 20 minutes I saw this. I was like, I was really into it and really wanted to say, okay, what's going to happen next? So I'm going to turn it over to you.
I enjoyed it for the most part. I just want to give people a warning. This is not, if you're expecting Falcon of Winter Soldier type of level action packed type of series, this is not really that type of series. This is more of a character study, which is very different. It's a very different than all the Marvel shows. I'll definitely say that. I really did enjoy it. I love the dynamic of Steven and Mark. I really did enjoy that split personality that they really showcased there. And I also did really, what I really liked about it, of course, is that this did a great job of world building. We really get to see the
It,
world of what they're doing with this Marvel universe. And we get to see not only that, but we also get to see where Steven's at. And like Sean mentioned, is that he doesn't like there's actions in here where he doesn't know that he did it. And I thought that was really well done. Like there's moments that he wakes up in another location, no memory of how he got there. And the mystery of the unraveling of what's happening to Steven, because they don't introduce you to Mark right off the bat. It takes its time to really get you developing character wise with Steven to know who Steven is. Then they introduce Mark in a whole Moon Knight mythos. And I thought that worked very well. This really nice slow burn. And it's not a boring slow burn. It's a very interesting slow burn due to the great writing and acting by Oscar Isaacs, who really, I think, did a really great job as Mark and Steven. And kudos to him for just being able to balance having a British accent and switching it in the same scene for an American accent as well. So I thought that worked very well for me.
yeah, I will say when I say the first 20 minutes, like that's how I kind of like gauge certain series. Like if in 20 minutes I'm watching this and I'm just like, I'm not like, all right, I'm not interested. I'm like, this could be a boring series, but it kept me interested. Now, the rest of the episode was really played out well. I will say this in the beginning, when they introduced the main villain, I was just sitting there like, yo, my man, like, like you don't look threatening. Like you look more like Ethan Hawke looked more like my man was gonna sit down and pray with you. You know, like he was gonna talk to you about, your relationship with your Lord and Savior. Like it's just I was just like, all right, like but then he has a quick turn and you're just like, oh, okay, he ain't no punk. Like he really has something behind him. And I thought his first interaction with Steven was really good. It wasn't your typical Marvel, like they like to use comedy in there. There's one thing I will say about this first episode. There really isn't any comedy. Like you're used to the Disney way with these Marvel movies is that there's a lot of like somewhat bad but funny jokes. And that's not happening here. It's actually like they take this series serious from start to finish. In this episode, they take it very seriously, and you have like a little bit of slapstick, but it's more or less like, okay, like this is Steven's personality, and that's the way he's just really awkward. But they really do take this series from the first episode very seriously.
And not to cut you off, but just really just piggyback off what you were saying there, because that's something for the people who are probably wondering, like, oh my gosh, like a lot of people have the complaints with the forced jokes when it comes to Marvel shows and even the movies. This one takes it really seriously, especially giving the type of character that we're dealing with. Moon Knight is a dark character, and I think they really realize it's like, okay, we have to take this a little bit more. No, I mean, there are some funny scenes in there, especially when it comes to oh my gosh, I forgot the Egyptian guy that possesses, that he makes a deal with, like when his commentary when he was like, "You fool, this fool," him. Those were
that's the joke. That's the only jokes in the entire episode, like any episode.
Yeah, any episodes when he is talking to the god. That's the only jokes you get here. Otherwise, you have a pretty much character study on Steven and Mark and Moon Knight. And credit to the action scene. We could talk about this action scene because it was in the trailer when he is in the bathroom and he just goes all in.
Yeah,
in that scene.
I think that was probably the best part of it, because here's the thing. I know that I have a lot of friends when they watch, they're not comic book fans, but they do watch the Marvel movies, DC movies, whatever they watch. And the one thing they're into is a lot of action. I will say this is not your series. Again, don't expect like this wild amount of action coming in. Don't. Just expect this to be a story. But when the action does happen, you're like, oh shit. Like, first, let me start off by saying the suit is so clean. Like, I don't want to even, like we have another review of the second episode, but I want to say the suits are just clean in this. Like, like most, I'm not going to say like most of the Marvel movies, the suits haven't been there, but this suit is just so well put together, like from beginning to end. Because, when you see Moon Knight's outfit, it looks like, more like Egyptian rags or whatever. But no, like this, like, whether he's Moon Knight or Mr. Knight, like this, like the suit is just clean throughout the whole thing. And then it's action. Like I said, you see this in the trailer. This kind of reminded me of like the Batman Dark Knight, like the Batman movie with Patterson. It's like, yo, man, you hit it. It's enough, bro. You like you don't hit him no more. Like, it's done. Relax. And it was very well done. The action scene at the end was very well done. So I have no, like I said, first episode, I have no complaints about it. Like, it's just like, I'm pretty sure people are gonna come out and they're gonna say like, hey, those who expect action are gonna expect a lot of action. Those who expect story, they're gonna be like, oh, I don't know, there's just too much story. Like, just my only thing I can tell you is just give it a chance. The first episode is a lot of development, and that's what you're gonna get from the first episode.
There is a lot of talking,
yes,
but it's not boring. It is kind of a slow burn. Like I said, it's a slow burn, but you're so engaged with the story, and that's due to the writing and Oscar Isaac's performance. So I would say first episode is definitely a go. So we're gonna be back, and we're gonna next week, and we'll do episode 2. So we will catch you on the next one.
All right, and for Doctors of Geeks, later days.